We are about to enter the outer limits of the Taidan Empire. As we approach the galactic core, resistance is expected to increase. We have identified a weak point in the enemy defenses. There is a remote research station located near an active supernova. It should only have a minor garrison protecting it.
Hyperspace jump successful. We have cleared the Outer Rim dust bank.
The research station is located here. Assemble a heavy strike force and destroy it.
The supernova is 215 light-years away. It is emitting intense radiation.
Strike craft are especially vulnerable to this radiation. Capital ships will be the most effective due to their heavy armor. Research Division reports it is now equipped for proximity sensor technology. We advise commencing research immediately.
Okay, the fact that the mothership didn't immediately show up was weird. So, we have a local resource node. I have some concerns about our ability to actually reach it.
Ready. Repair order confirmed. Ready.
Research complete.
Understood. Copy.
The good news is, it would appear that we have emerged with all of the ships that we captured. So, strike craft are, for all intents and purposes, out for this assignment.
Ready. Alright, that's it. Retirement confirmed.
I would love to press the attack immediately, but we need resources. Not for this mission
The enemy is using
necessarily.
mines. Research Division reports it can produce a Corvette-class mine-laying ship. We advise commencing research immediately.
Now, if you're wondering what you do about mines in this game, you either wait for them to despawn or you sponge them. You got two options. You wait for them to despawn or you just sponge the hits. Good luck. I feel like I needed to...
Radiation is much heavier than we expected. Sensors indicate that these veins of space dust may have shielding properties. We recommend using the veins for protection.
Oh good, they're prioritizing the ones that are more
taking
damaged.
enemy fire.
Once they reach the resource vein, they'll be shielded again. I'm just trying to get them across the actual gap. Yikes, they've upped the radiation damage quite a bit. Well, okay. Allow me to correct that statement. No, it's just that the frigates are a lot less spongy than they used to be. A lot less spongy than they used to be. Again, Homeworld 2 had this notion of let's make combat faster and more frenetic, and it's like, nah, man, why you do that?
Copy. Understood.
Heal
Repair
that one,
target
it's
locked
almost
in.
dead.
Resource collector under attack.
Oh, no,
Copy.
no.
Repair order confirmed. Ready.
Before it dies, please. Thank you.
Roger. Understood. Repair target locked in.
Got literally just traveling to another resource vein. They're almost dead.
Resource collector taking enemy fire. Resource collector under attack. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Copy. On our way.
God, that probably wasn't super exciting watching me micromanage that, but as you could see, it's something that is basically required.
Move order confirmed.
God, even the support frigates are almost dead.
Research complete.
Where'd I get 7,000 RUs? Does it auto-collect after the mission? I'm starting to wonder. Have I been wasting my time?
Ready.
Oh,
Ready.
I hope not.
Repairs initiated.
I mean, allowing
Copy.
for the auto-collection would be a great quality of life improvement, but it would mean that I've been wasting my time collecting all the resources. Oh, boy. By the way, this is a super cheap tactic. You can just have one support frigate. You can have two support frigates be supporting each other and just get them both healed up. We used to do this back in the day. Sign of a true Homeworld pro. You got your resource collectors making out in space. They're crossing the streams. Oh, it's not that funny.
Resource collector awaiting orders.
God, I'm gonna have to split this into two parts, because aside from me micromanaging this resourcing operation, which is necessary, honestly, if I wanted to make sure I got all the collectors across, I should have done them one at a time, or two at a time, each one assigned to a resource support frigate. I tried getting them all across at once, and look what happened.
Confirmed. Repair order confirmed.
At least they put you in a spot where, no matter how far out your ridiculous captured frigate line goes, you're still in like the safety of the dust cloud, which is why they actually have the target not in front of you, way off to your left. Now, I had these arranged because I like to have my capital ships in a wall formation. For a frigate group, I like 5 ion cannon frigates, because they're the heavy lifters for fighting ships of similar size or larger, and 4 assault frigates just to cover your corvette bases. However, I have an abundance of captured TIE Downey ships, which... Oh, now it'll let me recycle them. What was that before, where it's just like, no, you can't do that? My point is, I feel like I want to maybe jeopardize these more than my own ships, which... Oh... is kind of a problem, because I've already assigned groups for my ion frigates and my assault frigates. Speaking of, let's replace that resource collector.
Underway.
And let's build our first carrier.
Construction underway.
Because it'll be nice to be able to support this
Standing by.
attacking force from the front.
Roger.
They're all healed up, which means they can get to
Collection
work.
confirmed. Roger.
You know what? No.
Standing by.
I'm going to pull them back to the mothership.
Destination.
Oh,
locked
that's
in.
another thing I could have done. I could have built the carrier first. I didn't know I had like 7,000 resources. Because I don't... Where... Okay, either it is actually gathering the resources when I leave, even though it's not telling me it's doing that, or they give you like
Resource collector complete.
they give you like a lump sum when you start a new mission. Maybe in case you've run everything down, right? Like that would make sense. I don't know which it is because this whole game is just a box of mystery. I did look up online, and yeah, a lot of people struggled with that Cathedral of Kadesh BS because they couldn't. They'd be attacking the ships and then they just wouldn't die because a lot of players coming off from classic Homeworld would just go full attack, and I actually sort of confirmed it that while the motherships were too durable to just smash instantly, there was none of this damage immune BS. You could theoretically destroy all of them before they retreated across the line. And now all of a sudden you can't do that. And what a lot of players were doing was that they were just launching headlong in and just hitting the motherships as hard as they could, and then discovering that it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. It is so unbelievably ridiculous. Wow, the support frigates are actually faster than the resource collectors. I hit the wrong button. That's the thing I just did. Okay, well, so far I've had a bit of a routine of, like, showing you the action-packed bits, even though I know some people might find that that's embellishing. Showing you the action-packed bits and leaving out the boring stuff. But I'd like to take this opportunity in the remaining probably 10 minutes of this video to elaborate on a few things. And then probably the second half of this mission, which will be its own video, will be the actual, engaging part.
Acknowledged.
But,
Repairs
okay, first point, this series has garnered more attention on average than
en route.
pretty much anything else I've done. Now, I want to preface what I'm about to say by stating that Homeworld is by no extension a bad game. In fact, I'm enjoying myself a great deal playing it. However, I had a concern that this game might bore my audience to tears, because strategy and stealth share a thing in common where there are long durations where there's not a whole lot happening. It's not engaging is the word I'm looking for, or at least the best word I could think of right now. It's not super engaging. I mean, right now I'm micromanaging resource collection.
Roger. Repair order confirmed.
Carrier complete.
Local resources exhausted fleet. Moving on.
Ah yes, the turtle. That's what I call it. I call it the turtle, because on the top, it's got like a nice tough armored shell, but on the underbelly, all of its manufacturing and launching facilities. I mean, from a space perspective, that kind of makes sense, because the logic would be that attacks can come from any direction in space, at least in theory. However, your ship's going to have a vulnerable point at some point. It can't just be a big ball of armor. So the notion here, of course, is that you can try to keep your back oriented to your enemy, and you've got just armor there. And I assume, I don't know, maybe these are radiators, these sort of orange panels, because they're kind of like what you see on the mothership, but I always felt that maybe that was armor. I mean, the way the cryo trays go into the mothership, I always figured that they would sort of slip down into the belly at the bottom of the mothership, and... But I'm conjecturing as to the function of a surface that was designed with aesthetics in mind, as opposed to actual hyperspace. I mean, maybe that's the quantum wave generator. I don't know. Again, I'm conjecturing. But I figured that, like, here's your armored topside that you'd orient towards the enemy. Meanwhile, underneath you'd be, berthing your frigates and launching your resource collectors, and, well, the resource collector berth is here, and your fighters come out there. It's a nice design. I don't like the tie-down design because there really isn't a surface on it that is, well protected. Now, what I mean by that is that the tie-down carrier, which you all would have seen in the previous video, launches ships out of the front. It's got like a big mouth that it launches ships through, which means that it's vulnerable on that side, but it's also vulnerable in back because of the engines, and the top has a gap too, which leads into the
Resource
sensitive
collector
inner workings
taking
of the
enemy
ship.
fire.
It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Okay, yeah, they're working it.
Confirmed.
I'll just have these heal each other. Again.
Roger. Collection confirmed. Roger. Move order confirmed. Confirmed. Green line confirmed.
So yes, on average, these videos have attracted more views than my normal
Standing by.
stuff, right?
Repairs
Now, I don't know if
initiated. Ready.
that's more people are watching, or that's just a lot of revisits, people watching them in bits, even though it seems odd considering it's no longer than what I usually do, right? But there's been a lot of... I don't know, I'm inferring that there's been a lot of interest in Homeworld, which is interesting. Interesting. I don't know, I always avoided low-intensity stuff because I felt that that was going to put people off. Maybe I was just the crazy one. And it's the action-packed stuff that's putting people off. Maybe it's novelty. I don't know. I mean, everybody on YouTube's trying to do something that's big and bombastic and engaging, and it has become the norm. And, I don't know, something more chill like this has a novelty to it as a result. I'm probably overthinking matters. It probably doesn't matter. Funny part is, despite letting this first 20 minutes run, I'm probably still going to have to cut. Because there's going to be a lot of me just deciding what I'm going to do here. Because this is, in many ways, the first real mission. You've got a big environmental hazard. Once you start the battle, you're on the clock. And now I've got all this extra... And you've got mines involved. This is kind of a clever way of creating a sense of tactical positioning in a game taking place in space with 3 dimensions of movement. Because, sure, you've got the whole map you can move in, but if you're not in one of these sheltered dust clouds... you get hit with the radiation from the supernova, and bad things happen. Now, I should point out the fact that, quote, active supernova. A supernova is an explosion. Now, sure, it's a very large explosion, expelling a tremendous amount of mass, which means that the sort of wave of material expanding outward would probably be incredibly huge. I mean, I'm not an astrophysicist or something, but I could imagine, light minutes, light hours, choose your measurement of length and insert it here, of just stuff being thrown out by that explosion, but active feels like the wrong term to describe a supernova, because it's blowing up. The thing is, when something blows up, it blows up and then it's over. It's not constantly exploding. When a star is actually in its primary cycle, it is constantly exploding. You have this outward force of the energy of fusion blowing everything apart, and this inner crushing force of gravity holding everything together. A star is this balancing act of explosion and implosion from gravity, and it's one of those interesting cosmological things that the human brain just isn't evolved to really wrap itself around. Because it's not a bush, or a tree, or an animal. Because despite all the art, despite all the civilization, despite all of the many things that we humans have achieved, at the end of the day, our cognition was built on a foundation of, can I eat this? That's literally the foundation of our cognition. Is this edible? Can I drink that? Will this cave get me all of the good mates? And on that bombshell, I think is a good place to leave off on this one. Oh, my missile destroyer is done. We missed the launch. Okay, one thing I will say, the Taidani missile destroyer, I like the look of it better than the Kushan one. And normally Kushan ships have a slightly improved survivability because their guns are well distributed. You'll note that those 4 turrets are neatly placed all around the body. The side ports are actually the ion cannon, not ion cannon, sorry, the plasma bomb launchers. So it has spinally fixed plasma bomb launchers and 4 turrets. This is the same for the Taidani design, however, you can see the plasma bomb launchers are centrally mounted, and the turrets are on little winglets, sponsons, on the outer section of the front of the hull. However, you'll note that the sort of mobile range that those turrets can hit is more restrictive than its Kushan counterpart. They can't fire directly to the rear because there's the whole bulk of the ship behind them, whereas the Kushan frigates have no such restriction. So generally, you have better gun coverage on the Kushan ships than the Taidani. However, the Kushan missile destroyer is kind of an exception. You'll note its missile batteries are all just facing forward. Now, fighters tend to swarm and fly past, and while these missiles are crazy good at tracking them, you want the ability to sort of disperse missiles in a wide range. And the Taidani missile destroyer does that fine, because you'll note its missile dispensers are actually on the sides. And then after the missiles have dispensed, they fly in the direction they need to go. So this just looks like a more sound design. God, I could go on at length about how I feel about these ship designs. I don't know if I should. Is that what you're here for? My opinion? Does it matter? I'll tell you what, I'll test the waters. If you want to hear me go on more about these ship designs, how I feel about them, like this video. Otherwise, I'll just carry on with business as usual and just show you stuff blowing up in space, because I don't know. That's probably what you're here for. The results probably won't be in for me until after I've done this mission, but at least that'll cue me in on to exactly what I should be sort of attempting to put together here. So yeah, if you want to hear me go on about the ship designs and how I feel about them, if you want to hear more of me, like the video. I'll consider that a show of approval. You know, the thumbs up. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you all for watching.